enthusiastic consent, in my opinion, this is important. So with this growing age of like social climate awareness, like more people are engaged in the idea of social issues, the younger generation, right? Like LGBTQ and fucking what's that one where it's like you're a woman, it's one thing. If you're a black woman, it's another thing. If you're a gay black woman, it's another thing. It's like some shit like that, where more things that could disadvantage you kind of stack up and intersect, whatever that's called, stuff like that, right? We're talking about social issues more and more as a collective. So one of the things I was really invested in when I was younger, that kind of scared me and kind of made me more aware, and a lot of things, was enthusiastic consent, which is the idea that if you don't receive enthusiastic consent, it's a no, from my understanding. Like, let's say you're in bed with a woman and you're like, hey, can I kiss you? And it's not a yes, please kiss me now. If it's like a yeah, sure, then that's a no. When I started dating, finally, right, the ripe age of 19 years old, fuck me, oh my god, I would talk to my friends a lot, and I would always be like, guys, I'm a 6'2", 200-something pound male. Like, I'm afraid of putting a woman in a situation where she feels like she can't say no. What they would tell me is women are very capable of saying no, and I'm like, well, I know, but I don't want them to be too afraid to say no. I'm big and strong and whatever. Not to gas myself up, but I just don't want to be like a predator on accident, you know what I mean? And so we would go back and forth about that a lot. And I still don't know where I stand. I want to be the enthusiastic consent guy, but it's just so much harder. And I don't even know if it's true. This might be some like you remember when TikTok was super progressive, and we were all super mindful of each other's feelings and whatever the fuck, right? It was like too much. And then we kind of rubber banded back. We got a little too conservative, and then we're kind of in the middle now. And then, so is that just like some sort of super progressive, idealistic version of what consent should be? Or is that in the modern day, the realistic idea of consent is enthusiastic consent? Or do you think real consent in a real scenario between two people who want to do whatever with each other kind of looks like implications and body language and closeness and that kind of bullshit, right? The idea of enthusiastic consent came from mostly for men, right? Because men are doing most of the initiating. Mostly from X, right? With an S. So you're in bed, you're the man in this situation, you're with a woman, and you're taught to be like, it's some people call it pushy, other people call it persistent. So you're taught to be persistent. You're taught to ask again and again and again and again. But nobody tells you how many times to ask. And so maybe you just kind of ask until you get a yes. And the idea is that, let's say you're on your third or fourth ask. You're thinking, fuck, I'm just gonna keep asking until she's like, no, we're not doing this tonight, or she's like, yes. What she's thinking in her head is, oh, what's gonna happen if I keep saying no to this dude? Is he gonna like just do it anyways? Is he gonna stop? Is he gonna force me? What's gonna happen if I keep saying no to this guy? And so he's asking again and again and again, and the woman is increasingly feeling less and less safe in this environment. And my freaky roommate, bro, this is the dude we're talking about. What the fuck? She's feeling less and less safe, right? And at some point in her head, she's like, okay, if this dude asks again, I'm just gonna say yes so he doesn't fucking molester me. and so that she retains some sense of control. Like if I say yes, at least it happened on my terms, kind of. So that's where that idea kind of came from. Is in contradiction to the idea of persistence in men. So is that a real thing? I know it's real. Is it practical, or is it just an idealistic version of what consent should be? Because obviously, it's hard to be sexy if you're like, hey, can I kiss you? Oh, can we kiss? Can we kiss and cuddle now? Can we do one sex, please? It's hard to be a little seductive when you're like, one sex now. So, what do you think? If you're a woman especially, do you think you want to be asked directly, kiss, cuddle, sex, whatever? Or do you prefer implications and, signals or whatever the fuck? Or do you think enthusiastic consent and just directly asking should be the standard and is what you prefer? If you're a man, do you look for enthusiastic consent? Are you like a, natural type of dude? I'm not shaming you if you are. There's nothing wrong with doing it differently. Whatever works for you, and I'm sure you have your own life experience that keeps you from doing or not doing, whatever. So, no shame in anybody's game. This dude is a freak. He does not wait for enthusiastic consent at all. Absolutely not.